Post-fight reaction. Joyce stops Daniel Dubois in the 10th round to become British champion. And Joyce now moves on forward, maybe to potentially become second in the WBO rankings and potentially take on Alexander Usyk if Anthony Joshua is to vacate the WBO. So, first of all, hats off to both men. Hats off to Joyce. Big up Joyce. Hats off to Daniel Dubois. Like, subscribe, share this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Post-fight reaction, Daniel Dubois versus Joyce. You know, all the bookies were favoring Daniel Dubois to win this fight. The bookies were treating Joyce as if he's a journeyman, a cream puff, a donut, a road sweeper. Well, the juggernaut is Daniel Dubois. What the bookies got to say about that? How did the fight go? Obviously, Joyce won the fight. Round one, you know, Joyce, as I said in my pre-fight video, he used his jab. He used his jab to a trick on Daniel Dubois. Just gave Daniel Dubois all manners of swelling, jabbed his face like constantly. They peppered him with the jab, one jab, double jab, constantly. Daniel Dubois couldn't deal with it. You know, Daniel Dubois in round one, round two, round three, you know, for the first half of the fight, he had these spots where he looked dangerous. You know, he landed shots that he used to knock out these cream puffs and milkmen like Ebenezer Tete, you know, Latte, which other one now? That Fujimoto, you know, he landed the same shots on Joyce. Nothing happened, fam. Big shots landed on Joyce. Like, he didn't even snap Joyce's chin back. It just hit his chin and bounced off. Joyce must have, like, you know, his chin. It's ridiculous because one of his trainers actually did say that they tested him out and his chin is like 7 times the bone density of like regular people, and you could clearly see like the strength, how solid this guy's chin really was. He peppered Daniel Dubois from round to round, took Daniel Dubois' best shots, you know, but hats off to Dubois. He put in the work, he tried, did what he could do. You know, he's still 22, young fighter. He can come through later on, you know, he's gonna have to take on other fighters, learn from his mistakes, sharpen up the tools in his toolbox, you know, and move forward. He's still a young fighter, like I said, but, you know, this today was Joyce's victory, and, you know, he's done what everybody said he couldn't do. They said Joyce is too slow, you know, he's gonna get caught. Yeah, his shot still looks pretty slow, but his shots didn't look as slow as they've looked before, you know, by Joyce's standards, you know. And despite Joyce's, you know, they say he's stiff and he stands up still, you know, Joyce heavily relied on his chin. Nothing happened. Daniel Dubois was shocked in the corner, absolutely shocked. You could see it in his face. He was shocked. He wasn't even saying anything. You could see in his eyes. He was shocked, like, about the performance of Joyce, the strength of his jab. You know, the fact that Joyce, the shots that he landed on Joyce that he used to not spark out all these other guys. Drop Gorman. The shot he used to drop Gorman did nothing to Joyce. Absolutely nothing to Joyce. And that absolutely shocked Daniel Dubois. Fight went on. Round 7. Daniel Dubois looked good in a few. I think he maybe won a few rounds. You know, I believe Joyce was winning the fight up to the stoppage. I'll get to the stoppage in a minute. In the 10th, I believe Joyce was winning the fight, the stoppage. There's some rounds you could say are nip and tuck, and they were closer. You could give to Daniel Dubois because he landed the more, you know, let me not say, I won't say accurate shots, but he landed the more eye-catching shots in terms of landing on Joyce's chin, catching him with flush shots. And Joyce was caught with a couple flush shots, you know, in this fight, and nothing, absolutely nothing. Joyce's defense was on point with his guard. You know, he was leaning, you know, to his right hand. He's leaning to his right. Anytime Dubois will look like he's gonna throw right or throws a right, he'll lean to his right. And Dubois, you know, you would think that Dubois would try and change it up and try and throw a hook, you know, to compensate for Joyce leaning to his right, to avoid Dubois' right hand, but he didn't even throw the hooks. He didn't switch up the play. He was still prodding, looking for his big right hand. He's just to knock out all these other guys. And unfortunately, you know, the shots weren't there. You know, the shots weren't there for him. The shots that he's learned to knock out, you know, he's used to knock out all these other guys. He's knocked out in the past, you know, in his devastating knockouts. If you watch the Dubois knockout promos, they did nothing to Joe Joyce. He couldn't deal with Joe Joyce's chin. He couldn't deal with Joe Joyce's jab. He couldn't deal with Joe Joyce's the strength. Joe Joyce was stronger than Dubois in this fight, man. You know, he pushed him, walked him onto the ropes. Dubois expended a lot of energy in the early rounds, and just as people said that Joyce would do well later on in the rounds, it was true. Going on to the stoppage, Joe Joyce, throughout the fight, using his jab, unfortunately, he managed to his jab on Dubois. He messing up Dubois' face. Unfortunately, the swelling, I think, on one of Dubois' left eye got to him, and then he took a knee, and then the fight was, and then Dubois was counted out by the ref. And people are gonna come out here, you know, and criticize Daniel Dubois, but you get in the ring, yeah, and you take shots, and you get swelling like that, and you, let's see if you can stay in the ring and keep taking shots. He took a jab in the spot from Joe Joyce, and he felt like that was enough. He felt like he wasn't winning the rounds. He's probably gassed out. You know, he's taking punishment, and he felt like, you know what, live to fight another day. I'm still 22. We'll come back and I'll learn, you know, and do better in the future. You know, he took a knee, and then the fight was counted. It was counted out. I don't want to hear no people criticizing Daniel Dubois, you know, for taking this. You know, oh, Daniel Dubois is a quitter. Okay, you get in the ring and you take shots, yeah, and you take the shots, and let's see if you stay there. You know, because if Dubois didn't take a knee, you know, really the towel should be thrown in for us or something like that. You know, the team should have looked at it and threw in the towel. I think the team should have look at it. He's just a risk. He can't even see from his left eye, his blind spot. He could take a big shot from Joe Joyce, you know, and get hurt. You know, I think there's nothing wrong with what Daniel Dubois did. Hats off to Daniel Dubois for his performance. He's a young fighter, man. Joe Joyce is 35 years old, been Olympics, fought Hergovich, fought Stavern, fought Ustinov, fought Brian Jennings, fought Usyk he's fought Usyk in the past. You know, Dubois didn't go Olympics. Dubois hasn't fought the opponents Joe Joyce has got for, you know, experience. You know, so all these guys, you know, I expected Joe Joyce to win this fight, believe it or not. You know, Dubois, you know, he hasn't fought the greatest of opponents. You know, people can get drunk on power when you knock out cream puffs and journeymans, but then when you're in a fight with Joe Joyce with a chin, a solid chin for that matter, you know, your power can get found out. Like, do you really hit as hard as you say? You know. So hats off to Joe Joyce, hats off to Daniel Dubois. Big victory for Joe Joyce. You know, he's shown his, you know, people are going to take Joe Joyce seriously now. The jab, it's outstanding jab, outstanding from Joe Joyce. That's all I can say, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about Joe Joyce's victory? What do you think about Daniel Dubois' performance? You know, Daniel Dubois is a young fighter. He's 22. He'll come good again. You know, he's going to learn from, look at him. He's probably like the youngest ranked number 2 in the WBO. He's the youngest fighter probably in the top 10 of WBO's top 10. Out of all of the top 10s of all sanctioning bodies, I think Daniel Dubois must be the youngest at 23 now. You know, he's big, like he's built like a big man, but he's still 23. He's got a lot to learn. You know, it's for a lot of fights he's gonna have to, you know, they're gonna put him in so he can learn. You know, because the way how he lost is very similar to how Anthony Yarde actually lost to Kovalev. Obviously, Joe Joyce is not a world champion level like the way Kovalev is from light heavyweight division, but in terms of being peppered by the jab, you know, Anthony Yarde was also peppered by the jab as well. He was peppered by the jab, just like Kovalev peppered Anthony Yarde with the jab. Joe Joyce peppered Dubois with the jab, and the effect was very similar. They were both stopped, and were they both stopped in round 10? I can't even remember now. It might have been round 10 or round 9 where it's close rounds where they were both stopped. Shows you the effect of having a heavy jab, or the over round effect it can have on opponents. And is this a mistake by Frank Warren? He's done this with Anthony Yarde. Now he's done this with Dubois, where he's not putting them in there with, you know, decent opponents. He's giving them, you know, cream puffs, donuts, cab drivers, and road sweepers, you know, to give them the highlight reel knockouts and to make them look good. But then when they get in there with a credible opponent, they're getting found out. Is this something Frank Warren's going to have to look at? Because, you know, it's gonna be interesting. We have to wait and see what happens, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Where does Daniel Dubois go from here? Who is Daniel Dubois gonna fight next? What's gonna happen next with these guys? What's gonna happen with Joe Joyce? Are you impressed by Joe Joyce's performance? You know, do you believe Joe Joyce beats an AJ? Do you believe Joe Joyce can beat a Tyson Fury? Can Joe Joyce conquer British boxing and become potentially an undisputed heavyweight champion in himself? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Share this video, join the KBV boxing community. Let's see what happens, man, with these two, man, in the future. Let's see what happens, man. Cool.